Ever wanted to slap your boyfriend's girl best friend? Tessa had been in my boyfriend's life since kindergarten. She called him babe in front of me, touched his arm during conversations, and somehow always needed emotional support at 11 p.m. My boyfriend would insist she was like a sister, that I was being paranoid. Maybe I was, until I decided to surprise him with homemade lasagna after his study group. I used my spare key, expecting to find him exhausted over textbooks. Instead, I found Tessa curled up on his couch in one of his oversized shirts, the same shirt I'd bought him, watching Netflix like she owned the place. She didn't move when she saw me, just said he was in the shower, and they were hanging out. Something in her tone made my stomach twist. When I asked about his shirt, she shrugged, claimed she'd spilled wine on hers, and he'd offered. When my boyfriend emerged from the bathroom, hair damp, he froze, seeing me there. Not happy surprise. Guilt. He thought I was working late. I told him I'd finished early and wanted to surprise him, holding up the container, but he already had company. Tessa stretched dramatically and announced she should go. Thanked him for listening about her breakup drama. Breakup drama. This was news to me. After she left, my boyfriend launched into explanations. How Tessa was going through a rough patch, how she needed a friend, how I was being jealous over nothing. I pointed out she was practically in his apartment. He protested she was wearing a shirt. Would I rather he let her walk around covered in wine? The gaslighting was masterful. Almost made me doubt what I'd seen. 2 weeks later, I found her hair tie on his nightstand. When I confronted him, he had another perfect explanation. When I found her lip gloss in his bathroom, she'd been getting ready for a job interview. Every piece of evidence had a logical explanation that made me feel crazy. The breaking point came during my birthday dinner. Halfway through appetizers, his phone buzzed. Tessa was having a panic attack. He needed to go check on her. I asked if it had to be now, watching my birthday candles flicker. Couldn't someone else help her? She only trusted him, he said, already standing. He'd be back in an hour. He never came back. I sat with our friends, making excuses until the restaurant closed. When he finally called at midnight, Tessa had needed him to stay overnight, on my birthday. That's when I realized the truth. I wasn't his girlfriend. I was the other woman in his relationship with Tessa. The next morning, I showed up at his apartment with all his belongings in garbage bags. Tessa answered the door, in his shirt again. She said smugly that he wasn't there, but she could take the bags for him. I pushed past her, explaining I was actually there for her. What I found confirmed everything. Her clothes mixed with his in the laundry basket, her shampoo in his shower, her name on bills taped to his refrigerator. When my boyfriend walked out of his bedroom, I didn't scream or cry like they expected. Instead, I smiled. I asked how long this had been going on. He stammered that it wasn't what I thought. Tessa lifted her chin defiantly. 2 years, she announced, since before he met me. The room went silent. My boyfriend's face went white. He hissed her name, but she was done pretending. She was tired of hiding. I had to find out eventually. I nodded slowly. She was right. I did need to know. Then I pulled out my phone and showed them the screen. I'd been recording our entire conversation. My boyfriend asked what I was doing, panic in his voice. I replied that I was sharing the truth, posting the audio to social media with a caption explaining how they'd gaslighted me for months. Within an hour, our entire social circle knew the real story. His family, who'd grown to love me, cut contact. Her parents, who attended the same church as mine, were mortified. 3 months later, Tessa broke up with him. Apparently, sneaking around had been half the thrill. Now he texts me occasionally, claiming he made a mistake, that he never loved her the way he loved me. I don't respond. Some people shouldn't have relationships until they grow up themselves.